not going back.
Well, they say crisis is the only thing that brings humanity together. And this is a chief point of that.
That's a very important word. Crisis comes from the Latin root cri, C-R-I, cri, and cri admits reversibility. All right. So in a critic, in a Christ, in a criteria, like this means that it is reversible. Once it is anymore, it is a catastrophe.
Yes, we're heading towards it. Yeah.
Catastrophe is not reversible anymore.
Okay, cool. So we're in crisis mode right now, at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the moment, it's a climate crisis, so it is still reversible, but we're against the clock. Right. We have no time. Do you want me to provide you a little bit of data on that?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Make your points, please.
Let's do a quick exercise. Okay.
Okay.
Measuring temperature in the world is really difficult. What scientists measure is concentrations of greenhouse gas emissions in the atmosphere. There are 6 greenhouse gases that we measure, but we all compress them into one to make it simpler, and it's called carbon dioxide equivalent, right? So that's our unit.
Okay.
The unit that we use for gases is parts per million, right?
Yeah.
So parts per million is what we're going to be referring right now, parts per million of carbon dioxide equivalent, right? So 350 parts per million in the atmosphere globally is going to ensure that we do not overcome 2 degrees Celsius.
We do not overcome 2 degrees. Okay.
Yeah, 350 ensures that we have a safe climate.
Okay.
450 get us to 2 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Question: what is the concentration you reckon we are today at?
Oh gosh, I would like to say less than 450, but I know that's not the right answer because you're saying we're at 4. So if we're at 4 degrees Celsius, so we're like at 600?
No. It's less than 450 because otherwise we'd be already in game over, right?
Okay.
Between 350 and 450, where do you think we're at?
380. It's a random number.
Okay, we're at 414.
Oh God, we're close.
you can look it up at NASA. If you type NASA climate change, it will come out with a page where you can. We're monitoring the vital signs of the planet, like ice caps, how much ice is melting, and the temperature in the atmosphere, and the acidity in the oceans, and all these things. So, continue with the exercise.
Okay.
If we are at 414 of parts per million, and 450 is the limit.
Yeah.
What is the difference between 450 and 414? What is the budget left that we have to grow on carbon emissions?
36.
36. Very good. So 36 parts per million. Now, take into account this. We're growing in average 3 parts per million per year.
How many?
Per year, we keep growing in carbon emissions, right?
How much are you growing?
3 per year. So if we have 36 parts per million in the budget and we're warming up at the rate of 3 parts per million per year, how many years we have left?
12. It's screwed. That's why you said live the next 10 years of your life like they're last. That's pretty scary, man. That's pretty scary right there.
Now that is if we continue business as usual.
Yeah.
The idea is that 2020, we start, instead of growing 3 parts per million, we start getting climate neutral.
Right.
So do not increase anymore, and then we start decreasing. So we win time by the end of the century.
Yeah.
But reality is that if we don't start getting this done, as we haven't, since we've been talking in every conference of the parties of the United Nations, and nothing gets done, because it's not only about us as individuals, it's about companies as moral entities, and it's about governments putting radical policies in place, things like a carbon tax and emission reductions trading scheme, and this kind of policies in place to help move from fossil fuels into renewable energies, and all the practices like public transport and everything that we require to decarbonize our economies. So anyway, 12 years is what we have left if we continue with business as usual. Hopefully, this will extend into 15, 20, 25, 30, 50 years, right? But it's up to us. So, that's what I say, like, let's just live this decade, the best possible, because if we fail, the world is gonna change in a way that you will not be able to recognize it. So the pandemic was a very small worry, not because it's related to climate change, but it's related to the abuse of nature. The fact that we keep interacting with wildlife, we are eating bats or whatever interaction we have with wildlife, it's getting us into a risk to get more viruses, more pandemics, and many other Earth systems that are being altered. And now we have to cope with bushfires like we did in Australia. Now California is going through it. But it will be also inundations, hurricanes, very, very extreme winter winds. It's just going to be chaotic in every sense, which means food relies on climate. Climate is not predictable anymore, so we may experience shortages of food. We will have to invest a lot of technology into keep producing food security, which means higher prices, but jobs are not paying more. So we start having all these conflicts, and it's just unfolding and creating more issues. This is why, from all the sustainable development goals, climate change perhaps is the most important. If we fail at addressing climate change, we may lose the opportunity to achieve all the other goals.